Hey folks, how y'all doing this fine, beautiful day? Hopefully great. I'm just chilling, welling, heading up to do a pickup, and from there, heading home. Beautiful day today, sun is out. Weather is warm but cool, not as crazy as it's gonna be later this year, but okay, that's part of life. So, I just went to a nice dinner, like I said, but I was hearing somebody talking about the situation in the world in reference to conflicts, things like that. One of the things that made me listen to them is the statement of one person in reference to balance. She said that it's really interesting when we talk about conflicts around the world, but it's also interesting because no one talks about the source of that conflict. A lot of these conflicts is built on the foundation of fear, hate, and prejudice. And it's not that it's new. It's as old as time itself. But the thing that made this conversation very enlightened is that it's really about not perception, but the person themselves, the humanity factor. She said that it's often that delivery of how we convey to everyone how we should treat everyone else around us, including our enemies and our friends. For years, she said that it's really crazy that we are still fighting wars and conflicts that's hundreds and even in some instances thousands of years old, because it started in the root of the core of that civilization or society. The problem with our society is that we are conflicted based on fear and hate, and that's part of the human nature. Unfortunately, we can't change that. We can subdue it, we can modify it, you can do anything else but stop it, because people will always want conflict. There are always people willing to have peace, but unfortunately peace has a cost, and the cost is often that people are unwilling to work with others to find that balance, that integral development of hope, peace, and harmony. So my question to the group is, if a conflict is constant, not because of time, but it's because of the rigorous aspect of history, there's a lot. There's a lot of things you can think about today that is fundamental, that's historical in nature. Do you think that our conflicts today are so centered in the past that people have forgotten that this that conflict started in the past, and we're still creating the same dilemma because we're not able to find that core way to break that stalemate of fear, hate, and prejudice? So what do you think? Is that something a lot of people don't think about? Because I'll tell you something, in my type of work and in my type of situation, thinking outside the box mindset, especially when it comes to stopping a conflict or ending a situation, you gotta find the root of that situation. That's the biggest thing that people don't want to do. A lot of people, they fight a constant battle, and when you ask them how it started, no one knows how it started. I remember this one story. This one lady said, "Well, it started because of whatever, but it was just a fable." In reality, when they finally found what it started about, this is about 7, 8 generations later, 9. It was about a girl. It was a conflict between two individuals within the family and a girl. That's the reality of facts and fiction. about conflict and peace. Yes, it's not easy, but did you ever think how a conflict starts? And if you had a chance to fix it, would you fix it from by going back to the past and preventing that conflict to start because of a misunderstanding or some kind of conceptual disagreement? That's a question that I ask myself after that statement of that lady, because I'll tell you something, if I could go back to the past and end the possibility of a conflict to start, I would. But the reality is a lot of people today are unwilling to break that disheartened fear, that anger, that frustration, because we are constantly at war with each other. And when you ask them how it started and how it really began, true historians will say the way to clear a conflict, a war, is to find out how it really began. Because a lot of conflict today historically has been shown it was started because of prejudice, because of fear, because of hate, because of just misunderstanding. So do you think our conflicts around the world, especially the major ones, could it be stopped because we are willing to break that code, the code of silence, the code of misunderstanding? Do you think so? If you think I'm wrong, hit me. If you think I'm right, hey, it's part of life. Hit me too. Take care. Stay safe.